Hey guys, it's Monday, so this is my Motivation Monday post, and it's kind of a difficult one to deliver because I feel like God's really working on my heart, and this is going to be more of a motivation for you to look sort of inside yourself and evaluate your heart. And I'm only putting it out there as a motivation because I feel like I am doing the same for myself right now. So today, in my personal development time, I was doing some chapters from my Bible study, which is on the book of Hosea, and it's talking about how Gomer represents Israel, which ultimately represents us. How we all in some way stray away from God and we put up idols and we look to others for love and satisfaction and validation, and really God is the only one that is deserving of our affection and our praise and our worship. And though we may not have physical statues in our homes that we worship, we look to success or money or affirmation or position and power as our idol. And so I am evaluating, myself and what it is in my life that I desire, and do I desire that for the right reasons? Do I desire it more than I desire God? And it's really hard because you have to be honest when you're, reading the Bible and relating it to your life today. And then I was also reading my Son Stand Still book, and it was talking about how Joshua was getting ready to move into new territory, and before they could move forward, God commanded him and his army to circumcise themselves. And it was talking about how it was a physical act. It was a picture of cutting away in order for God to bless them and move them into a victory. And Pastor Stephen was comparing that to, sometimes in our current lives and our situations, there's, we're living in the New Testament and we're called to circumcise our hearts, which represents a cutting away. And sometimes God will use circumstances or situations to really cut at us, but it's to cut out the bad, the sin, the desires that are not desiring Him. And I was just thinking how, we always have dreams and goals and visions, and do we go after those things for the right reason? And do we really trust God to provide us those victories, or do we think that we are our own gods and our own kings, and we can have all the control that we want in our life and have the outcome that we desire and take credit for the victory? And while I don't feel like I have some big glaring major thing in my life where I'm saying like, God, that needs to be cut out, I know that there are subtleties, there's thoughts, there's the way that we manage our gifts and talents, and who do we give credit for our success and our provision? And do we look to things to make us happy, or do we look to God to give us joy? And so I feel like this is a little bit all over the place, but I just finished reading all this stuff, so it's fresh in my mind. And what I'm getting at is, if you're desiring a victory of some sort in your life or an accomplishment, is your motivation God-centered or self-centered? And if you really feel like the answer to that is God-centered, are you able to move forward into that in your current state? Or do you really need God to do a work in your heart to cut away some things so that way you can fully, in the most pure sense, move forward into that victory so God can get all the credit? And it's really hard because we don't want to admit that we have things in our life that need to be cut away, because we find our security, our safety, our love, our comfort in those things. And it's hard when God puts us through that refining fire, but in the end it produces gold. So that's what my encouragement to you is today. But know that in the end, when God has His way, it's the best way, and we're all the better for the journey and the cost that it takes to travel that road. And this is hard to share with you guys, because I'm in essence admitting it over myself and asking God to continue to refine me and put me through that fire. And it's scary because I don't know what that would require, but I'm trusting God and giving over my dreams and my goals to Him. So try not to get emotional. Whew. So I'm going to let this video end because it's already past 5 minutes. I'm getting ready to go do my PIO. This is my accountability and also your Motivation Monday. Bye, guys.